This is KCTV5 News at 9.
The back stairwell, we tried to go down it, and it was already full of smoke. So we ran across the building, went down the stairs, tried to go out the lobby, and it was full of smoke.
Wow, our top story tonight, a historic landmark in Kansas City caught fire. Firefighters rushed to the Savoy Hotel this afternoon at about 4 o'clock. Chopper 5 rushed to the scene as well. They're sending back video of smoke just billowing from the popular hotel and restaurant. The night team's Betsy Webster was there and talked with the owner. Betsy.
Well, the fire started in the Savoy Grill on the basement level in the kitchen underneath the hood of the grill, which the owner told me had a fire protection system, but it must have malfunctioned. And I can tell you that there were several people living in permanent residences up here upstairs who narrowly escaped that fire. Sarai Spear-Lee was still shaking hours after escaping the fire with her dogs and 2 friends.
I think things flash through your head, and, I just went into panic mode, and then when I realized everybody was okay, I think it just hit me.
The hotel rents to long-term tenants like her, as well as to overnight guests. Spear-Lee says they're used to false fire alarms, so she ignored the alarm until she saw the smoke.
The back stairwell, we tried to go down it, and it was already full of smoke. So we ran across the building, went down the stairs, tried to go out the lobby, and it was full of smoke.
They went for a back door, which was locked.
I went into kind of panic, natural instinct mode, was like, I got to get this door open, so I pulled every lock I could on it and just busted through it, and out we went.
There's fire trucks, and couldn't see coming out with all the smoke, and it was just panic mode, And then once I realized we were out and the dogs were okay, I melted.
The owner was worried about some of the historic interior to the building, which went up in 1888 and played host to 4 presidents and numerous celebs.
There's some murals in there that go back about 100 years old, and hopefully they only have smoke damage to them. There's not any water damage.
But he says there is no structural damage, something John White credits to the Kansas City Fire Department.
And that was good to see. I'd hate to see this wonderful building that's been in Kansas City forever, get lost to a little fire.
The owner has had the place for 54 years. He says that he expects that he'll be able to get things back up and running shortly. His daughter-in-law says he does have insurance on the property, and based on his business savvy that he's had all those years, she expects that he has all of his ducks in a row, financially speaking. Reporting live in Kansas City, Missouri, I'm Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
And he is delivered into the gap. Both runs are going to score. And it's 5-2 as Perez delivers for the Royals.
Well, the Royals evened the score last night, taking Game 2 7-2 in what many were calling a must-win in the World Series. The team is in San Francisco tonight, looking to keep that momentum on their side. We have crews in the Bay Area to keep you up to date on the World Series. Brad Stevens, Michael Coleman, Alan Shope, and Dave Hall are all there. Let's check in now with Dave Hall.
Hey guys, what do you think of my seats for Game 3 of the World Series? Not bad, huh? I wish. This seat's probably $2 or $3 grand, way out of my league. It's great once again to be here in San Francisco today, the day before Game 3 of the World Series. Royals fans are starting to trickle in. I think a lot of people will be flooding in tomorrow when the game is actually being played. But we met a few Royals fans today, including a couple who has the craziest story. Now, we met them up on Lombard Street when we were shooting a story up there, and they saw my KCTV5 mic flag, and they're like, hey, we're from Kansas City too, and we sparked up a conversation. Now get this, they're on their honeymoon here in San Francisco. When they realized that the Royals were playing the Giants and that the Royals would be here, they were so excited until they saw the return date on their plane tickets. Here's the problem. They fly back to Kansas City tomorrow night, so they won't be here for Games 3, 4, 5 for the World Series here in San Francisco. So they're hoping and praying the Royals can win at least one game here in the Bay and force a Game 6 back in Kansas City. Would you give up your wedding ring for a Royals World Series?
Well, yeah, I'd give up mine. It's a lot cheaper. Hers, I don't know about.
No.
Yeah, he was more than happy to give up his wedding ring. Her, not so much. Not that I can blame her. But again, I think a lot of Royals fans will start trickling in more and more as we roll into tomorrow and get ready for this big Game 3 of the World Series. Excitement is building. I know they're excited here in San Francisco. I know you guys are going crazy in Kansas City. We will be back out here live all day tomorrow for Game 3 of the World Series. I'll see you guys then.
All right, Dave, thanks so much for that. Well, many of us would say we are dedicated Royals fans, but not many could compare to this guy who's not even letting a recent health scare come between him and his team. His name is Chris Coates. He has been to 797 straight home Royals games. That's more than 10 years of games. But the 29-year-old superfan was recently diagnosed with a brain tumor. Thankfully, the doctor's telling Chris the tumor does not look cancerous, but he does need to have it removed. And he says the doctor told him to take it easy on the excitement. Chris says he isn't about to let that stop him from being with his team on baseball's biggest stage.
I feel like, it sounds kind of weird, but if I, something happened out there, if I died or something, I'd be doing what I love, cheering on the team I grew up with my whole life. As soon as the World Series is over, hopefully I can get it taken care of.
Chris says he plans to be in San Francisco to cheer on the boys in blue as they battle for the World Series trophy. We have more Royals coverage coming up later in the newscast, including just how fast does Lorenzo Cain run compared to the rest of us. That's coming up in about 10 minutes. We are following developing news tonight out of New York, where a doctor has tested positive for the Ebola virus. The physician is part of the Doctors Without Borders organization and had recently traveled to West Africa. New York City's mayor says protocols are being followed and the doctor has worked closely with health officials. The mayor also says the doctor had direct contact with very few people. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you any updates as we get them. A man is still in the hospital after police shot him last night. Police say 23-year-old Brandon Sampson lunged at officers with a pair of scissors when they confronted him during an attempted robbery. It was about 9:30 last night when police say Sampson walked into the CVS pharmacy on North Vivian in Brighton. Witnesses tell police he had his right hand in his pocket and he told everyone to get on the floor. Some of them hid in the back.
There were some other employees in the store at the time, and they had to some extent barricaded themselves in the back of the store when they saw what was going on.
Police say Sampson demanded money from the clerk and threatened to kill everyone. When officers arrived, they say Sampson approached them with scissors, so they shot him at least once. He is in serious condition at the hospital and is charged tonight with kidnapping, making threats, and armed criminal action. A Columbia man is behind bars tonight after leading police on a 120-mile chase. Police say he topped speeds of 100 miles an hour, all while weaving dangerously across the road.
26, still northbound at the 52.4, 110, coming up on the Savannah exit.
52.4, speeds 110, 1939.
We're coming up on the 71 highway exit, and he just about lost it in the median.
Passed in the grass again on the number 1 lane shoulder. He's starting to get a little squirrely with his drive, and he's straddling the number 1 and number 2 lane. Speeds are about the same, though.
Police say they started chasing 32-year-old Donald Buckner after he robbed 2 people at gunpoint at a Quick Trip in Kansas City. They chased him all the way to Rockport near the Iowa border. Buckner later told police he refused to stop because he was wanted in Boone County. He is now charged with robbery and resisting arrest in Jackson County.
Well, it's a nice evening across the area, although we're going to be watching out for the possibility of patchy dense fog to develop in the area. Could have an impact on your morning commute. Take a look at your forecast just ahead.
And still ahead, we're learning more tonight about the man accused in the Canada shooting rampage, why authorities recently revoked his passport.
It's not human. It really isn't.
We all know Lorenzo Cain is fast, but what he did last night, rounding third base to score the go-ahead run, had a lot of people in shock.
You're watching